Everyone, welcome back to a new post today. Let's continue from where we stopped with regard to our upcoming UPSC preliminary examination of 2026 and the points that you need to keep track for. So the very first is about a blowout happening in Assam. So this was with regard to an oil field that where the blowout had occurred, and ONGC was in action to contain the blowout. So Rudrasagar is one of the oldest oil fields in Assam. Let's look at some of the most important oil fields in Assam. Now we have onshore and offshore oil fields in India. The onshore are located inland and the offshore are located on the continental shelf. Other oil fields in Assam are Digboi, Naharkatia, Moran, Rudrasagar, Lakwa, Galeki, Khataloni, Gilom Adi oil fields, and they are located mostly along the banks of the Brahmaputra river, and many are located in Sivsagar district as well. There was a news of antimicrobial resistance occurring in in animals. And what is this? Antimicrobial resistance occurs when the microorganisms like bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite evolve mechanisms to make antimicrobial drugs ineffective. That is, they do not react or respond to these drugs to contain them. This means that infections caused by these microorganisms like bacteria, virus, fungi, parasite are harder to treat, and also they lead to increased illness, mortality and health costs as well. Microorganisms develop resistance through various mechanisms like changes in their cell walls, enzymes that neutralize the drugs, and altering the target of the drugs as well. Now, AMR poses a threat to public health, animal health and food safety. We have very less antimicrobial drugs, and it can lead to treatment failures, prolonged illness, and also increase in the risk of death and economic losses. Now, main causes are overuse and misuse of these antimicrobial drugs by humans and animals as well. And agriculture is contributing to the development of AMR. Poor infection control practices, lack of awareness is also a main problem, and over-the-counter sale of antimicrobial drugs is also a main problem. Drug-resistant bacteria like E. coli, Streptococcus and Klebsiella pneumoniae are becoming increasingly prevalent among the health concerns. Now, the United Nations Security Council has met to plan for the Iran issue. This body is one of the 6 major principal organs of the United Nations. It approves amendments to the UN Charter. It admits new members into the General Assembly. It can establish peacekeeping operations and special political missions to maintain and restore peace, and it can also authorize enforcement measures with regard to economic sanctions, military action, and measures, however not use of force. It can recommend methods for adjusting disputes in terms of settlement, and also it can investigate any dispute or situation that might lead to international friction. Now, the Security Council is the only UN body with authority to issue resolutions that are binding in all its members, and this is the most important point that you need to remember. Apart from that, we have an organization very much prominently in news because it is now the government of India is planning to replace this organization with a civil aviation authority modeled on the lines of the American Federal Aviation Administration. It is headquartered in New Delhi, and it is the Director General of Civil Aviation. Now, it has done a safety audit for the aviation center, and it regulates the civil aviation in India. It is a statutory body under the Aircraft Act of 2020. DGCAFX investigates accidents and incidents and maintains regulations with regard to aviation, is also responsible for issuing licenses as well, and it is headquartered in New Delhi. Now, we have the Registrar General of India in news because of the census operation. Let me tell you that this organization is an attached office to the Ministry of Home Affairs. It is responsible for conducting decennial census in India and implementing the registration of births and deaths in India. 1969, the Census Act of 1948 provides the legal framework that is required for conducting census operations or preparations since independent India. Now, it is headed by the Registrar General and Census Commissioners appointed by the President of India, and the present Registrar General and Census Commission of India is Mrityunjay Kumar Narayana. So he is from the UP cadre and he acts under the Census Act of 1948, and along with that implementing Registration of Births and Deaths Acts 1969. It is an attached office to their Ministry of Home Affairs. So these are the most important topics I thought I should be tracking for June 14th. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment in the end of the video. I shall see you later in my new post. Until then, it's very happy learning.